Senor Wallace! Where is Senor Wallace?
What are you doing here?
The police, senor!
Blade. Oh! Jim, go through the grove. Hurry. Hurry! Blaine, what are you doing? No, don't do that!
The Fugitive. A QM production. Starring David Jansen as Dr. Richard Kimball, an innocent victim of blind justice, falsely convicted for the murder of his wife. Reprieved by fate when a train wreck freed him en route to the death house. Freed him to hide in lonely desperation, to change his identity, to toil at many jobs. Freed him to search for a one-armed man he saw leave the scene of the crime. Freed him to run before the relentless pursuit of the police lieutenant obsessed with his capture.
The guest stars in tonight's story, Celeste Holm and Ben Piazza. Tonight's episode, The Old Man Picked a Lemon.
¡Socorro! ¡Auxilio! ¡Ha habido un accidente muy malo! ¡Ha habido un accidente muy malo! ¡Auxilio! ¡Socorro! ¡Ha habido un accidente muy malo!
Is Paco playing games again?
I better go see.
Señora, ha habido un accidente con el señor Amos. Se le ha caído un...
Please, Paco, in English, I'm still a gringo.
There has been an accident at the drainage ditch. Senor Amos hurt very bad.
Encinas County, California. For the common laborer, a haven of perpetual harvest. For Richard Kimball, a sanctuary. But here on this fertile land where the miracle of life stands in rich abundance, Kimball has watched the hand of death reach out and twist fate to its own purpose.
Jim! We sent for help, Lee.
Jim,
Please don't try to talk.
my son is coming home. You take care of him. Blaine isn't easy to help. For me, Jim.
I'll help him, Lee, I promise.
That's good.
No, Flo, don't go down there, please. Flo, please.
Please,
Please, senor, it does not help. Flo, please. Take her to the house, Jim. Come on. We'll stay with the senor Amo.
Senor Wallach. I'm here to help you.
Paco, why don't you clean up Mr. Hagerman's son's car? He's coming home, sort of a welcome home gift. Huh?
Senor Blaine does not like anyone to touch that car.
I thought you wanted to help.
Si, senor.
Hello, Jim. Have the funeral plans been made?
Tomorrow afternoon, 2 o'clock.
We'd like to be present if it's permissible.
I'm sure Mrs. Hagerman expects it. She asked me to take charge until everything got cleared, if that's agreeable with you.
It's fine, Jim.
Oh, good. We should be able to finish picking the West Grove by end of next week.
No. We will stay until the funeral. After that, perhaps it is better if we find work somewhere else.
You're quitting?
We have worked for Senor Amo for many years. Now he's gone.
What kind of a reason is that, Raphael? Now, I know it's tough, and I know we all hurt because he's gone. But this ranch can't run itself. And his son's gonna need help.
We remember what Senor Amo asked before he died. He was right. His son will not be easy to help.
You've got something against Blaine Hagerman. Why? What is it?
Look, Jim, you have many new troubles. Forget the old ones, huh?
Raphael, whatever it is, this is no time to hold a grudge. We've got 50 acres of trees ready to be picked.
They're other workers.
Let me put it another way. What about Mrs. Hagerman?
La Senora, she's our friend.
Not much of one, is she? If you're going to walk out.
Excuse me. You know, maybe he's right. We're too quick to turn our back on the wood of Senor Amo.
You forget quickly, old man.
No, I don't forget. I know what La Senora feels. We will stay, Jim, for La Senora.
Good. Let's get to work.
Muchachos, Carlos y yo hemos decidido que nos vamos a quedar. Se lo debemos a la señora y al amo. Recuerden que ella es la viuda y no tiene nada que hacer. No tiene que dar el trabajo. ¿Están todos de acuerdo?
Yo lavo el carro de adelante, tú lo lavas de atrás. Como quieras, a mí no me importa, yo lo quiero lavar. Ese carro está bien bonito.
Híjole, qué carro tan bonito, mano.
A mí no me gusta.
Mira qué carro tan suave, manito.
Ni tanto, ni tanto.
Mira, cuando yo crezca, me voy a comprar uno de estos. Voy a andar. Ya nomás qué carro tan bonito. Hijo.
Mejor que te salgas de ahí, si no te va a ir mal.
¿Por qué? ¿Porque tú le tienes miedo al señor Blaine?
No le tengo miedo.
Tú le tienes más miedo que un ratón a un gato. Oye, ¿qué vas a hacer?
¡Lo pongo!
Ya se te va a poner la cosa fea. El señor Blaine se va a enojar. Va a estar furioso.
We ask that you give blessing to the words which so inadequately describe our feelings. As all must someday return to whence he came, so be it with Leland Hagerman, a neighbor to us all, beloved and respected as Senor Amo by his employees, a guardian of strength to his friends and loved ones. It would be an unforgivable omission in our lives could we not pause these final few moments
Don't you think it would be better if I waited back at the house, Blaine?
Oh, relax, baby. This will only take a minute. Give me a sec. How's that?
Very touching.
here to what was once fallow and wasted soil came a man of energy and vision. He plowed and he planted, and he brought forth a great burst of life to this land. We, as his now, as we prepare to bid goodbye to Leland Hagerman, friend, husband, and father, there is happiness and contentment in our hearts, because this man has earned his place in heaven in so short a time on earth. Welcome him, O Lord. Let him rest in that glorious serenity which you so graciously promised to us all who someday will follow.
Wallace, right?
As I've been waiting to talk to you. I didn't think you'd want to meet anyone so soon after the funeral.
On the contrary, I want to know all my employees.
Well, at your convenience, then we'll go over the topping and root cutting schedules, since you aren't familiar with them.
How long have you been working here?
3 months.
Well, since I've spent most of my life in this paradise, I think you can trust me. So if you will leave the schedules in the shop, I'll look at them when I get a chance.
Your father used to go over the schedules with the harvest foreman. They worked them out together.
Would you stop that? So if you will leave the schedules in the shop.
Mamacita. Now, there's a good-looking woman.
Ernesto, is that what you like? Cheapness? My Carolina was not like that.
Good morning.
Morning, Jim. I know that things have fallen a little behind in the last few days.
Don't worry about it. We'll catch up.
Have you met Blaine yet?
Yes.
That's all? No reaction?
What kind of a reaction would you like?
I'm sorry, Jim. I know he's not going to win any love and fellowship awards, but he is Lee's son. So that means we both have to give him a chance. And then, if necessary, another one.
Why do you make it sound uphill?
It is. Oh, he has some of his father's traits. But he has some traits his father wouldn't have. So, like it or lump it, I've got to teach him how to run this ranch. An awful lot of families depend upon the Hagerman payroll.
Flo, what kind of traits, Flo?
Oh, Jim. He's my stepson, not yours.
The last thing Lee said to me. The last thing Lee said to me was, please help my son. All right, I'm trying to help. But somebody's got to talk to me. Somebody's got to say something. Let's start with why everyone wanted to quit when they knew Blaine was coming back. Why?
All right. There was a young Mexican girl, Carlina Flores, Rafael's daughter. A year ago, she was riding in a car with Blaine, and there was an accident. And Carlina was killed. At first, they were holding Blaine on reckless driving charges, but Lee managed to smooth things over with most people. But he wasn't able to do so much with the Mexican community. There were some ugly rumors that the accident had been on purpose, and pretty nasty threats. So, Lee sent Blaine to Europe for a long trip to give time for tempers to cool off.
Why would anyone think that the accident was on purpose?
Well, as you must have noticed, our prodigal likes his women. And Carlina was also pregnant. So now you're part of the family, Jim.
Are you having trouble, Senor Blaine? It's a shame. Such a fine motor car.
What are you doing here, Raphael?
Why, nothing, Senor Blaine. We're employees. We work in your groves.
Then why aren't you working?
We are. Carlos, show Senor Blaine how we are working. You see, we're grafting the young trees, like your father told us. But first we have to cut them.
There are no young trees in this part of the grove.
Yes, you're right. Only old trees. who cannot live in peace. Because we take from them all that is theirs. It's a selfish way. Don't you think so, Señor Blaine?
Rafael.
Navaja.
Anything wrong?
No, just a little accident.
He's a lucky man with accidents.
Yeah. Well, you've got work to do, Raphael. The West Grove needs speaking.
Listen, Jim, you're a busy man. Forget about this. We'll be happy to help Senor Blaine.
I'll take care of it. Oh, get in the truck, Blaine.
La señora is lucky to have a man like you working for her. And so is he, my friend. Blaine. I'll have one of the boys in the shop get your car for you.
Thanks. And you might ask him to sew the seat. The upholstery got torn.
Well, I think you ought to stay out of the groves for a while. There's a lot of equipment working. You might run into something accidentally.
Like some Chicanos trying to stick a knife in me?
Well, don't press your luck. I'd stay out of the groves for a while.
You know something, Wallace? I've been home 4 days, and you've managed to get in my way most of them.
I was just trying to be helpful.
Boy Scouts are helpful. You're trying to play King of the Mountain. Well, the king is dead. And it's time there were some changes around here, like around the ranch. This has gotten to be a very expensive operation. And since I have to cut back on some salaries, I'm afraid I'm going to have to let you go. I'm sorry.
I think you're making a mistake, Blaine.
You stay out of this.
That's not going to be easy since I'm still the business manager of this ranch. Your father said that Jim could stay on as long as he wanted to. Now, don't you think your father's word should be respected?
It's all right, Flo.
It's not all right at all. I think it's time we cleared the air here.
I think the air is pretty clear. Hadn't you better read the will? This ranch belongs to me.
Your father wrote a codicil to the will after your difficulty last year. Counting the new land gifts to the Mexican families and revised share for me, you own roughly 50%. That's not even a majority vote.
You didn't waste any time, did you?
It was your father's decision to change the will, not mine.
Is that why you keep him around? A wealthy widow can afford to make her old age more comfortable.
Jim, there's some work schedules in the study I'd like to go over with you. Oh, Blaine, Mr. Wells at the bank called. He told me about your wanting to sell the ranch for a housing development. I told him I didn't think it was a good idea.
In case I need flying lessons, where does she keep her broom?
What are you doing here?
Your room got stuffy. Besides, I thought you were going to show me a good time.
I am, baby. I am. So, comb your hair and make yourself pretty. We're going to Los Angeles. And I'm going to show you how the big boys win an argument.
did you check in?
I'm a house guest.
You know, I figured that out all by myself.
Well, don't get steamed up, honey. I'm checking out today.
That's nice. Blaine, I'd like to talk to you.
Come in, please, come in.
I just ran into one of your playmates in the hall. Now, what you do is your own business. When you do it in this house, it's mine. I would appreciate your finding other accommodations for your house guests.
I'm sorry, Flo. I thought you'd left last night. Would you care for some coffee?
No, thank you. I have breakfast waiting for me in the kitchen.
Would you care for something to read with your breakfast?
What is it?
I'd say it's a very well-kept secret. See, it's marked confidential, Apex Detective Service. Go ahead, take a look. I won't tell a soul. It came last night all the way from Miami Beach.
Must have cost a lot of money.
I paid a bonus, as a matter of fact. But look at the bonus I got. You didn't read it all.
I know what it says.
Then, let's talk business. Business manager. A report like that could send you a lot of pious eyebrows around here.
What do you want?
10,000 for your share, and you get out.
Half an acre of this land would bring twice that in the open market.
But this is a private family transaction.
What if I refuse?
There's a lawyer in L.A. who thinks I have a pretty good case on moral grounds. You know? Purple lady entices wealthy old man into marriage to get his estate.
Blaine, whatever happened to you?
I'll check the storeroom.
We lost the hydraulic hose off the tractor in the inside.
I think so. Right back there on the shelf.
Good. What's he doing?
Moving.
You mean out of the office?
Out of town.
Flo, something the matter?
Oh, yes, there's something the matter. Blaine's kicking me off the ranch. It's all part of the game of how to hate your stepmother.
You know, I'm still a good listener.
Blaine hired a private detective agency to dig up some dirt on me. You may as well hear the straight version. Instead of the way Blaine will tell it. Will he ever tell you where we met?
No.
It was in a bar on Collins Avenue in Miami Beach 8 years ago. He was on vacation. Big citrus king from California. You see, he got hold of my telephone number. It was available. He was lonely. We went around together for a week. Just enjoyed each other's company. Then the time came to say goodbye. You know what he did? He asked me to marry him. I grabbed the chance. Sure, I didn't love him then. That's not the way it turned out. Blaine doesn't know that. Nobody really knows what goes on between two people, do they?
Well, so what did the private detectives come up with?
Oh, what I was, record of arrests, statements from Former clients. Oh, a lot of seamy little facts that a lawyer could, boy, they could make sound like all the original sins of the world.
Maybe he's bluffing.
No. He's willing to use anything against me in this lawsuit, to force me out, on moral grounds.
Well, so what are you going to do? Just give up?
What choice do I have? He's willing to smear his father's name just to get back at me. I can't let him do that.
Are you worried about Lee? Or about what other people will say about you?
No. In my former profession, well, you're supposed to acquire a pretty thick skin.
Flo. Give Lee's friends a chance. They're not sitting in judgment over his grave. As for the rest of the people, what do you care?
You don't know Blaine. He's vicious and clever. What can I do?
Fight him.
It won't be very pleasant when the newspapers get hold of that report.
No, it won't.
If only I had someone on my side at the trial who could testify about me.
Flo, I'll do anything I can to help, but I can't go to a trial. There'll be publicity and pictures. And
That night that Paco found you hiding in the garage, and later, those radio reports of an escaped fugitive from Los Angeles. Is that why you're afraid of pictures, Jim?
You never asked me before. I've always been grateful for that.
And I won't ask now. Forget I said anything.
Excuse me. I was looking for some wire. The tailpipe is loose on my car.
Well, there's a roll of wire in the tool shed. The mechanic always keeps it there.
Thanks.
Have you been working here long?
Been working here all day, but I get off at 5 o'clock.
That's early. Well, I was getting lonesome, lover.
Yeah, I see you were.
Well, where's the wire? Are we gonna have to listen to that muffler bang on the ground all the way back to town?
Sorry, baby, we're not going back to town just yet. So, get out and stretch your pretty legs. I got something to do. Hey, you, where's Paco?
I saw him carrying wood to the garage, Senor Blaine.
We're never gonna get a party started this way. Oh, excuse me. Are you Mexican?
All the way.
Well, tell me, how do I say in Mexican, you'll be sorry?
Le va pesar.
Or maybe it should be, who cares?
Senor Blaine. Hello, Paco. I'd like to ask you some questions.
It was an accident. The knife slipped from my hand and cut into the seat.
You don't like me very much, do you, Paco?
You are Senor Amos' son, and I must show respect and obedience.
Very good, Paco. And I will expect your obedience in answering my questions. Tell me about Mr. Wallace when he first came to the ranch.
I know nothing, senor.
Well, didn't you find him hiding here in the garage?
I don't remember.
Why was he hiding, Paco? Why? You know what this is, Paco?
Si, senor. It is for cracking nuts.
You know, when I was in Hong Kong last month, I saw something very much like this, only it was called a thumb screw. Have you ever heard of one? Well, it works very much like this, only instead of putting a walnut in, you put in somebody's thumb. And then you turn the handle. It's very painful, Paco.
I came to the garage for some tools, and he was here wounded with a bullet in his leg. Senor Amos said I must never tell anyone, or Senor Wallace would get into trouble.
What kind of trouble, Paco?
Por favor, do not tell the police. Senor Wallace is my friend.
Here, try it on all your dirty little amigos. Operator, give me the sheriff's station.
Thank you for the pep talk, Jim, and for the soft shoulder. I needed both.
I wish I could do more.
Well, of course, you could reconsider and stay.
Blaine might have heard more than we thought. He starts asking questions, huh?
That's all I know, Sheriff. His name's Wallace, and he had a bullet in his leg when he came here 3 months ago.
Oh, just a minute, Mr. Hageman. We get any reports of a gunshot wound out at the Hageman Ranch about 3 months ago, Bill?
No, I don't remember any.
I'll tell you what, Mr. Hageman. See if you can keep this Wallace fella handy. We'll come out and talk to him.
He'll be here, don't worry.
We'll be there in about 20 minutes.
Thank you.
Tell Johnny to bring the car around front. Oh, and see if you can find a couple of sacks. Well, the lemons are ripe.
I'll get my clothes together and be on my way.
Well, at least stay the night. You've worked hard all day. You need rest.
I'll be all right. What are you going to do, Flo?
I plan to live on this ranch a long time, Jim, if that's what you mean. Wait a minute. Lee always insisted on adding a bonus to the paycheck when a good man left. So take this. Don't give me an argument.
Thanks, Flo.
You better go now, though, before Blaine comes poking around.
That's no way to talk about your devoted stepson, Flo. Going someplace, Wallace?
The tractor needs some parts. Jim was just going to town to get them.
This late? It's almost 5.
Stores are open till 9.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. Wallace, I'd like to talk to you. It won't take long.
Hey, sure, what did you have in mind?
I've been thinking things over. I made a mistake. You are a good man to have around. How would you like to take over as permanent foreman?
Well, I appreciate the offer.
Then, maybe we could discuss those schedules that you mentioned.
Sure, but I would like to get into town and get those tractor parts.
Oh, the tractor's not that important. It can wait. I would really rather discuss those schedules now, unless, of course, you have something more important to do than...
No, nothing more important, no.
Good.
No, thank you. Flo?
No, thank you. What are you trying to do, Blaine? What if he doesn't want the job?
That's a little strange coming from you, Flo. You've been his most loyal booster, and rightly so. Wallace, you, give me the impression that you're the kind of man who thrives on responsibility. Now, I need somebody around here like that. I need somebody who can keep the workers in line. Papa?
Yes, Paco?
I think I have done something very bad.
Mm-hmm.
I told Senor Blaine about finding Senor Wallace in the garage that night.
Why, Paco?
He made me.
He touched you?
No, but I think he was going to hurt me. But I asked him not to tell the police like we promised Senor Amo.
When did you do this?
When I was putting the walnuts in the garage.
You're right, Paco. It's very bad what you have done. Paco. Where's Senor Wallace?
In the house with La Senora.
Quick, tell him the police are coming. Pronto!
Oh, stop it.
Come on, how about a little kiss? Come on, come on.
Senor Wallace! Where is Senor Wallace?
What are you doing here?
The police, senor!
Get out of here.
The police are coming! Oh!
Jim, go through the grove.
Hurry!
Blaine. Blaine. Blaine, what are you doing? No, don't do that!
Maybe we'll see him around again sometime, huh?
Yeah.
You guys are going into town. Maybe you got room up front for a live one, huh?
There's not a sign of him anywhere.
Well, we better get out of Bolton on him.
Well, maybe Johnny made out better than I did.
He took that Raffle Flores fella into town. You keep checking the grounds, and he'll be back to pick us up.
Sheriff, Rafael Flores was on this ranch when my husband first came here. He's not a criminal.
Well, he'll get a fair trial, Mrs. Hagerman. Oh, that Wallace fellow shows up again. You call me, all right?
Yes. Yes, I'll do that. Please, come in, all of you. Let me make you some coffee. This is your home, too.
Death brings with it a jolting shock of reality. No man can live or die in this world without in some way affecting the lives of others. Richard Kimball flees the aftermath of tragedy, a tragedy of which he was not the maker, but of which he will share the guilt. This is the burden of a fugitive.
The Fugitive.